Good morning. Here we are again. As I was driving here, I saw the moon hanging like a big, beautiful, Robert would say, eagle. It wasn't an eagle, it was a big, beautiful semi-orb. It isn't full now, it's waning, but so vivid. And as I stared at that moon, I thought to myself, do demons have a purpose? What a wild-ass idea. And do adversaries have a purpose, for that matter? And as I was driving here, I wished I had the camera on in my car, because I could have shown you the moon and I could have given you my thoughts just as they were hitting me. But it's also good to kind of flesh them out as you go. It's like getting ready for a class that you're going to teach. You sort through your thoughts, you kind of rehearse how things might go as you ponder. And so I'll do that some more, and I'll check back with you after I'm on the road, whether or not the sun is up. If I'm pointed at the moon, which I'm not likely to be because I'm going to Keesby, New Jersey again, I'll show it to you. But otherwise, I'll wait until it's brighter. Yesterday's episode had some really beautiful leaves and flowers and such, and as I was editing it and posting it, I was thinking that a lot of the things I was thinking to say yesterday apply very much to me. And so if no one else watches this or comments on it, it's helping me to get things out there. But if there's anybody at all else that it's helping, please let me know. Anyway, check with you again soon. On the way back from Keesby, I stopped at New Holland and got a trailer that was defective. I swapped a good one I was bringing back empty. And now I'm back at that familiar place where Highway 30 meets Highway 441 in Columbia, PA. And the topic of the day is demons. Why are there demons? Why are there obstacles? You might ask first. Or you might say, why are there challenges? And if you're a video game creator or enthusiast, or if, like Elon Musk, you think that this probably is a video game, that there's zero chance that it's a base reality, whatever that is. If you think that life's purpose is to level up, one of my sons thinks that, and that's pretty likely. If that's the purpose, then you're not just going to go through life with no challenges. Why would you even play that game? So if you're thinking about it, I talked about this when I was in New York delivering, and
in 1.25 miles, take the exit on the right to Pennsylvania 441, then keep left.
And it was tricky because I was thinking, I don't know if I want the challenge of driving in New York City with the big truck, but at the same time, I think it'd make a great video game. And the difference is that in one setting you're afraid of the consequences, in the other setting you have multiple lives you can use to try to achieve the objectives. And we probably do have multiple lives to achieve our objectives, but hard to prove that. So if we need obstacles, if we need challenges, do we need obstacles and challenges that have personalities and that hate us? If you play certain games like driving games,
take the exit on the right to Pennsylvania 441, then keep left.
The non-player characters have whips and chains and they try to keep you from winning. They don't just drive faster than you, they drive defensively, meaning they try to knock you off or break your vehicle and so forth.
Keep left to Front State Route.
And they seem malicious. I mean, why would somebody smack you with your motorcycle if they're not malicious? Oh, had my Jake brake on. Still have my Jake
In
brake on.
4¼ miles, turn right on River Road.
There's the river. It's really a good view from the truck cabin, not looking in the camera, but use your imagination. Okay, now my Jake brake is still on. You hear it? Off. On. Off. On. Off. On. Off.
Hazard reported ahead.
So if you're not afraid of demons, you might say, well, I need them. And I need humans who act like demons. And I need to be challenged by people who hate me. I guess. I mean, I don't know that the games I've played, video games, are enhanced by having non-player characters or other gamers in a multiplayer game who hate me. Who are, you know, it's sort of like playing, what's that game? Uno. You can learn to hate the other players when you play Uno. And there are other games like that too, where you're actively thwarting your contestants as opposed to everyone trying to do their best and hoping everyone else does their best. What's the stop up here? 1-lane road ahead. Believe it or not, I didn't touch that sign. Do not stop on tracks. I've actually seen trains on these tracks. So that's good advice. Yeah, leave a comment if you would prefer to play a game that didn't have people trying to harm you. So why do we need demons if they annoy us and we would rather play the game with challenges that don't hate us? I think probably it goes back to what I said earlier about the point of the universe being to confront us with our big fears, not just challenges. My biggest challenge is fear, learning to overcome fear. So in relationships, that's apropos. I notice in relationships that I'm afraid of rejection very much, and I'm afraid of abandonment. That goes from, both of those go back to my childhood. I'm afraid of being shunned. Like now, the university will tell me on Monday whether or not I'm going to still be employed there, and that kind of thing. You know, being rejected so that your livelihood is, and your family's livelihood is in jeopardy. Being harassed and mobbed and bullied, like I have been at Noticeville for the last 8 years, by people whom I know hate me. Is there a point to that? What gear am I in? There we go. Now where are we stopped? Oh, the mail truck is up here. Yeah, maybe I wouldn't choose that. Maybe you wouldn't either. Would you choose to have people mob and bully you and harass you? It'd be sort of like choosing a toothache or choosing chronic arthritis. Who would choose that? Who would choose that kind of pain? And it hurts. It really hurts. that idea that your colleagues can torpedo your self-esteem and act like and gaslight you into thinking that you're not all that professionally or socially or personally, you know, just trying to harm you for no other reason than that they hate you and you're in their way. It's a really personal question with me. But yet, I think the conclusion is still going to be, I need the demons. Not just because the game is more interesting, and some people would say more fun, if there's no danger, if you have multiple lives to spend, and then it's more interesting to have hatred in the game, and every other kind of emotion. I can see that if the point is to not be bored. For me, the reason I'm going to advocate the inclusion of demons is that I need to get over my fears. I need to be in the place where no matter what happens in the game, it doesn't scare me. I'd rather be content that way than have to talk the game into not being mean to me. I'd say if leveling up is the point, and I really think it is, then you've got this need to level up in a way that makes you fearless. I'd say that's, for me, that's the biggest challenge, and it would be the biggest satisfaction if I achieved it. And I know humans love to feel like they're competent. They like to feel like they figured it out, that they hacked it, that they know how it works. Challenges are really satisfying for humans. And if we didn't have any challenges, if we didn't have problems to solve, puzzles to work out, our lives wouldn't be as good. So of all the puzzles I'm faced with, fear is the biggest. And what I'm most afraid of is disapproval. What I'm most afraid of is other people's sanctions and the idea that they don't want me around and that I don't pass muster with them. And if I could get over that fear, I could be happy. I would feel good about solving the problem, but also it would be like having an umbrella in the rain or a warm wood stove in a cold winter's night. It's very satisfying when you face adversity and you're equipped to deal with it. You have a week's worth of groceries when there's a thunderstorm and a generator. That's a good feeling. That's a better feeling than if nothing goes wrong. That you've prepared for every contingency, every emergency. And I think that's why we have, whether they're non-player characters or not, I think that's why we have,
turn right on River Road.
That's why we have enemies. And we need them because, at least in my situation, that's my biggest fear. And I think I've been figuring out how to deal with people who oppose me, whether it's a friendly competition, like maybe in my relationship, or whether people are out for blood. I guess it doesn't matter. I'm learning how to handle it either way, whether it's malice,
turn right on River Road,
or healthy competition, or just what. Got out of his way, but he wasn't slowing down much. You figure the fellow truck drivers will slow down on these corners so you can get your trailer around them.
In 2.5 miles, arrive at home, on the right.
The windmills are going full tilt. That's about as fast as I've ever seen them go. They're so colossal that if they look like they're going fast, those tips are really moving. Anyway, I get distracted. So I guess that's the conclusion. And if you have a different one, please let me know in the comments. And instead of driving up this hill with you, I think I'll just leave you down here where you can see the windmills and the beautiful pink tree up here and that rust-colored one that reminds me of my grandmother on the left. It's different even today than it was yesterday. And this is a short episode, but that's okay. It's good to change it up. Talk to you soon.
In 3/4 of a mile, arrive at home, on the right. In 1/4 mile, arrive at home, on the right.
404. Should be able to remember that.